Joke.
Tell me a bit about yourself.
So I'm Andre, 32, live in England, Manchester, where it rains all the time.
Yeah, like in Barcelona.
Exactly. No. So Andre, 32. I originally worked in finance.
Yeah.
So from 18, I studied at business school.
Yeah.
And then I went and I worked for 10 years in an office, sat behind a desk.
Yeah.
Every day, day in, day out. Suit, day in, day out.
How do you like it about wearing suits to work?
I enjoyed it. Sometimes they look sexy, you know. If you get a nice suit, you feel good. You bounce around.
Exactly.
However, in London, in the summer, 30 degrees. Ooh, fuck me, horrendous.
Yeah.
But it's good. Day to day, it's good. The thing is, especially in England, the culture is very different.
Yeah.
Okay. It's very much about work. You live to work.
Yeah.
Where I think in Spain, it's different. You work to live, do you know?
Yeah.
A lot of people value time with their family and time after work. You eat later, you stay up later.
Yeah, and actually, like the food here, like the fact of eating is something like lasts a lot. When people go and eat, for example, the tapas thing, that's something I really like here because it's a moment. It's not only getting food because you need to eat.
Bro.
It's food to share. Like, oh, try this. This is really nice and everything.
Exactly.
So,
it's 100%. It's just a lot more interactive. It's a lot more fun. I love it. I love the Spanish culture, the life. That's why I'm here.
Yeah, and I think like in the end, I don't know, how do you see it? But coming from Manchester to Barcelona, like, do you think it's easy? How was it hard for you to feel like you're integrated here, like, or is more or less the same?
Not at all. I think for me, because of how I was as a person, very kind of outgoing and always been very talkative.
I was going to ask you about it. Like, once you were working like in finance, maybe.
Yes.
Would you, as you are right now, like,
Yes.
I mean, like, you were the same.
Yeah, exactly the same.
Yeah.
You had to tone it down somewhat with bosses, with important people, with clients. But I'm always the same person. I've got quite strong ADHD.
Yeah.
So very hyperactive at school, running around, you know.
Yeah.
So I was like this in the office, but it was very difficult. Sat there.
And for example, going from finance to barbering, what was the thing like more or less inspire you to do barbering?
So I've always loved getting a haircut from a child. Me and my dad, we went to the hairdressers, you know.
Exactly. How is over there? Like, for example, is it something that common? Like, as you said, like, you always get haircut quite often because I think it's a country thing as well.
100%.
Like, from Venezuela as well.
Yeah, every 2 weeks, 1 month. Maybe 1 month, me and my dad would go on a Saturday, Sunday. You'd speak to your friends there. It's like a little club, you know?
Yeah.
So I love the environment. I used to just love getting there. And I loved feeling good.
Yeah.
The feeling that you get when you go in looking shit.
Yeah.
But then you come out, you know, you're feeling yourself.
Yeah.
You're like, ooh.
It boosts your confidence.
Oh, crazy.
Yeah, it's actually true. But no, it's the thing. And how was it, for example, back then? Like, did you have to do like appointments, or could you, or every time you were going, maybe in the past weren't like appointments or all that shit?
Yeah.
But I think it's more like you go, and then if you're lucky, you don't wait much. But then maybe sometimes I remember on Christmas waiting 4 hours to get a haircut.
There was never appointments when I was young. No appointments. You just go, you sit there, you wait your turn. If it's busy, you wait an hour. If it's not busy, quick. But yeah, there was never appointments when I was young, many years ago.
Yeah, no, and the funny thing, that's why, because sometimes I don't like now. I can't get, and that is nice coming with a friend to get your haircut. But sometimes it's like, why is so many people coming together? But then it's like, fuck, if you have to wait 2 hours, you don't want to wait 2 hours by yourself like this, you know? You just want to go in quick. Okay, cool. And
100%.
That's something nice.
So how did I get into it?
Yeah.
Okay, so I was in finance for 10 years. I'd had enough. I was turning 29, so almost 30. And I had a little crisis, you know?
Yeah.
I thought, I'll retire at 70 years of age.
Yeah.
Am I going to sit behind this desk being sad, in my suit every day for another 40 years? And it was that realization. I said, no, I cannot do this for 40 more years. I'd done it from 18 to 29. So 10, 11 years, that was enough.
Yeah, and you were feeling like it wasn't like more or less what were you pursuing? Why did you get into finance?
So I went to finance just because that's what you did in England, you're taught to get a good job, you know?
Yeah, no, no, everywhere.
Be a
Yeah.
doctor, be a lawyer, be a banker. So I thought
Yeah.
that was what I should do. My biological dad, so my dad
Yeah.
was a doctor of clinical
Yeah.
psychology. So he was very, into studying and
Like
good
a
job.
scholar in a way.
Yeah, exactly. So I thought I should do that. But me and my dad are not the same.
Yeah.
Okay, and it wasn't for me. I prefer more creative. I get up, it makes me smile, making somebody feel
Yeah,
good.
yeah,
So then after I left, I started a hemp company, like cannabis.
Uh-huh.
So I started this, and then I wanted to
Really?
make,
How do you start with it?
bro. So
Is it still going on?
yes, so
Awesome.
yeah, so in finance, there was a lot of investment into cannabis.
Yeah.
Now the governments are accepting it, and it's not killing anybody,
Yeah.
So a lot more people want it. So I thought I'd make some money, make a business.
Yeah.
So I went to Switzerland and I started a cannabis company
Yeah.
called Nana's Leaf. And then I wanted to make hemp hair products. So
Yeah.
CBD hair shampoo products.
I hear about even like the neck tape. They
Exactly,
can make it
exactly,
with it.
bro. So I wanted to do this. And then I went on a hair course because I
Yeah.
was making shampoo.
Yeah.
I wanted to learn about hair. So then I found Josh LaMonica and
Yeah.
Menspire.
How? Like
I
did you
was
go
on
searching
Instagram.
from Academy, whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Instagram. A lot of my friends are barbers. So in England, in Manchester, London, a lot of my amigos are barberos.
Yeah. Nice,
So
yeah.
they recommend. They say if you do a course, go to Menspire.
Yeah.
Mucho dinero, but it's very good.
Yeah, like it's worth it. Like you will learn everything,
Bro.
fundamentals.
100%.
everything, like,
So I did 12 weeks with Josh LaMonica
Wow.
and Menspire. And after that 12 weeks, I was qualified. It was
Yeah.
very intensive.
12 weeks is like what? It's nothing like 3
Yeah,
months.
I got my certificate, all done, but very condensed. So much
Yeah.
work,
Like maybe what I do here, like for example, these working hours I put on work, like maybe you were doing it on
Yes.
learning.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
exactly. So
Yeah.
yeah, so 7 hours a day, 4 days a week, intensive.
Yeah.
Intensive. But at the end of it, I did better than most people because I left a very good job and
Yeah.
my salary was very good
Yeah.
to earn nothing to go and learn
Yeah,
barbering.
it's because you wanted to.
Exactly. So I was thinking, I'm leaving an amazing job, paying lots of money, having a beautiful house. I give all this up. So if I'm going to be a barber, I want to be a very good barber.
Yeah.
I want to make sure I'm making the best out of the situation.
Yeah, I know, and that's something what I think like in life. Sometimes we get these problems because imagine people is doing something that they like or they don't like. Sorry, it's something like, fuck. Oh, I hate this job, having this attitude.
Bro.
Man, nobody's forcing you to do
Bro,
this.
I
So
know.
if you decide to do this, even though exactly it's not as good or some, like, why are you like doing this and why are you having this attitude? It's your choice.
Exactly. 100%. I agree.
Fuck. And for example, I would say, what for you, like reflecting on your journey right now, what you have gone through, what would you say is the perks of being a barber?
A barber is, I like the hours, okay? So we tend to work later in the evening,
Yeah,
start a little bit later, so the hours are good. It's flexible,
yeah,
as in the sense as I can cut hair here, I can cut hair on the street, I can cut hair in another salon, in another country, I can cut hair is hair in every part of the
Everywhere.
world.
And
It's absolutely amazing. It's universal. So for me, that's just the being able to cut hair anywhere,
and how had it be? Exactly, I totally get it, and I think for you, even living in Barcelona, it's easy because you don't even need to speak Spanish,
No.
even though you have.
Yeah,
been
I
going
try
through-
my español
But-
bueno, but poquito poco.
Poquito
Sí,
poco,
sí.
yes.
Sí.
But it's like, even though if you don't speak the language, maybe you show a picture, you have an idea, and that's what I think.
100%.
If you have an idea of what you're making, like, in the beginning it's hard because, I don't know, but now, if you see somebody, you more or less know what haircut you're gonna do without this person telling you anything.
Exactly, bro.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, that's actually cool. And what would you say is the downside of being a barber? Like, what are the disadvantages?
So I'm a little bit older than most barbers that I know, okay? And I had an accident a number of years ago. I
Yeah.
broke my spine. I
Oh,
fractured my
bro.
spine, So just the bend, because I'm quite tall, bending over, cutting clients, sometimes it can hurt. I think when I get older, it might be difficult, but that's the only thing, really. Everything else I love, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, it's quite physical. If you do 15 clients in one day, you go home, wow,
And then it's like
Woo.
physically and mentally
100,
sometimes
very
because
draining.
You need to exactly
because
straighten.
you're focusing 100%. Little one on hairs,
Yeah.
thousands of hairs. You're
And,
focusing.
and this person as well, because I mean, if you are as talkative as I am, that you are,
Yes.
and maybe sometimes you are like hanging out. It's
Bro.
like seeing, I don't know, these are many friends, and then you want to be so energetic, you want to be so good.
100%.
So, for example, for you, like now the downside is maybe the back issues.
Yeah.
And what do you think would you recommend people to improve that problem? What would you think would be the best thing to do?
So
in
with
order to avoid
yeah,
that?
so with that, I mean, again, my training was very good.
Yeah.
So sometimes I forget my training though, and I
Yeah.
bend over a lot.
Yeah.
You can mitigate, so you can put less pressure on your back by spreading your legs.
Ah, that's what I do. Yeah,
Yeah, you
exactly.
spread your legs, you go down, you pump the chair up, things like that. But sometimes I forget. I'm human.
Yeah, because exactly, it's this thing exactly. These are like small tricks, I would say, like you get after
Yes.
after the time working, you know, because then you also see people, and then if you're working with nice people as well as
Yes.
you did, like, oh, these people tell you this because it's like they
Yes.
kind of care for you. That's something I like. What has been like the most challenging thing that you have gone through, like maybe in your life? I don't know you, but
Yeah.
and maybe it can be like by switching jobs, can be doing
Yeah,
this, realizing.
I mean,
Tell me
it's-
about this crisis
Yeah,
you
no,
mentioned.
it's quite easy. It's quite very sad, but it's so. My dad 2 years ago, he committed suicide. He killed himself. Yeah, so
Yeah, sorry.
it's okay, bro.
Yeah.
I'm at peace with it now.
Yeah.
So my dad was a psychologist. Okay, his job was to help people.
Yeah.
So all his life, he saved people from doing this, but he couldn't help himself. His wife, she ran away with his friend. He was
Yeah.
very sad. He made a very lasting decision in a short space of time. So it was very sad, you know. But because he was a psychologist and I grew up around him, I knew how to process it.
Yeah.
You know, not bury it. I've spoke about it ever since it happened.
Yeah.
It was very sad. I miss him every day, you know.
Yeah.
But it's life, you know.
Because I think there's no always like it's not a time of grieving, like it's forever. in a
But
way, like,
100%. But unfortunately, this happens a lot. The biggest killer
Yeah.
in men our age and to 40 years old
Yeah.
is suicide, bro. It happens, unfortunately, all the time. So I'd say that probably the most difficult thing. It was very hard because I was his only son. There was not much family. I come from, on my mama's side,
Yeah.
very big family,
Yeah.
Irish, you know, cousins everywhere, aunties, Christmas, crazy. But on my dad's side, there's no one really, just me and his sister.
Yeah.
So after that, we had lots of animals. I had to sort lots of things, and very difficult, bro. But I made the conscious decision when that happened to make the most out of life. I said, life is short. My daddy was 55. And life is so short. That's 20 years older than me, you know?
Yeah.
So I made the decision to do better with my health, do better with work, do better with everything.
Yeah, no, and it's hard, but for example, this is something people don't talk about. Like,
No, it's just
and-
there's a stigma, you know? People
Yeah.
get uncomfortable.
yeah,
but
because
it's-
it's as well part of the culture. Like you wanna see man because even
Exactly.
like oh you don't wanna cry. Or you
Yes,
don't wanna
exactly.
expose
You don't
yourself,
express your feelings, or so you bottle it up, and that's where people go wrong. And I think especially where
Yeah.
men go wrong.
And I think, for example, this thing, like, you don't want to, like, tell this, but it's actually nice that you grew up with your father in this way, like, or, like, he more or less told you since a
Yes.
young age
Yes.
how to face
Ex-
all this stuff. Because, for example, this is something, like, in the past, I've been affected by some of the
Yeah.
stuff. But then I realized what you said earlier, like, I think it's the most healthy thing that you can do.
100%.
Talk aloud, speak it out, speak it out, speak it out.
Don't bottle it up
Yeah,
because
man.
those demons, they get you one day.
Exactly.
Eventually, they come out.
And that's a hard thing because once you when you're thinking this, maybe you talk this with somebody else, then you take it out, and then you realize that maybe it's not even as crazy as in your mind can
No,
it be.
exactly. And sometimes you need the opinion of others.
Yeah.
And that's why I think it's good to have friends around.
Yeah,
No,
and
to
by good
sometimes-
people as well.
Exactly. Sometimes you need to speak to people. It can be a crazy thing in your head. Excuse me. It can be a crazy thing, you know, something so big that you can think never get over. But you
Yeah.
speak to your amigo, you know, you chat, you figure a solution, you get
Yeah.
somewhere.
And I think for me, this is the biggest advantage of being a barber.
Yes.
Like Man, for me, I was talking because I would like to go to therapy once, but
Yes.
not because
No,
I
but
think
it's
I need
good.
it.
Oh, no, but
No.
everybody does.
Yeah,
Everybody needs
exactly,
to speak to
exactly.
somebody who
But
knows more than you.
exactly,
Why
for
wouldn't
sure.
you? You
And
know?
maybe if it's somebody that has gone through
Exactly.
the same stuff. But for example, I think like for me, work is my therapy because
Yes.
I'm very I have learned how to be open with my stuff because
Yeah.
I know it doesn't make me weak.
No, of
You know,
100%.
like you know, and
Definitely, I
but
agree.
before I wasn't like man. Before I couldn't cry never before
Exactly.
with friends or anything. Now I'm like, if
Fuck
I
it.
feel
Exactly,
emotional,
bro.
I'll do it. You know,
Exactly, 100%.
yeah. But fuck,
Yeah,
and,
man.
and this is like. Yeah, fuck, man.
I know.
It's crazy
It
when
is
it comes
crazy,
about, man.
but look up since those past 2 years, how good my life has been.
Yeah,
So this is the way I look at it, you know. Ever since this traumatic, the worst day of my life when it happened. But since then, you know, I met you after it last
yeah,
year,
man.
Barcelona. I really got good at cutting hair.
Yeah,
I did
and-
so many things. I saw other countries. I made so many friends. You, everybody else. I've got family. I've got my mum. I've got 2 baby sisters.
Yeah.
I've got, you know what I mean? I've got an amazing life.
Like you're blessed, and
Exactly,
that's what I think, man.
100%.
Like as long as you realize, that's really nice thing of being like grateful because I think when you're grateful, you also feel successful.
100,
Yeah,
definitely.
like because if you can say thanks for like whatever because you really feel
Exactly,
this,
grateful.
then I'm like, fuck. I mean,
know.
if you're thankful, you're successful, like you're doing it, you know,
True.
like.
So true.
And it's the same thing exactly. For example, now that you mentioned like earlier about your habits and everything, what would you think were your habits before? Like how did you started to take better care of yourself than before? Like
You know
how
what?
was your life before? Because you showed me a picture
Yeah,
that you were fat
big
and
boy, I was very,
everything.
yeah. So I mean, I love food.
Yeah,
I grew up with my
who knows?
grandma a lot, and she was always feeding me. You know,
Yeah.
oh, just
Yeah,
food,
yeah,
food,
yeah.
food. So that, and I naturally, because I'm tall,
Yeah.
I'm just
Nah,
naturally
you
big.
can have more space.
Exactly, I got so
Yeah.
much space. But I knew what to do when I was early 20s. I lost 7 stone in 1 year. So I'd
man.
known how to do.
A stone is a pound. I get they say in England
A
that, right?
stone is 14. I don't know. 1 stone. So
Because
I weighed. What's the measurement? I don't know.
no, but stone is something that you say in Ireland, I think.
Yeah,
In Ireland, not in Ireland.
England.
Sorry, in England.
See,
In England. But
metric.
for example, yeah, it's a metric because, for example, I met this guy. He was from England or something. He's quite short.
Yeah.
But and then he told me once like, oh, this girl was like actually offending him or humiliating me, and then he said like, what the fuck? Just go away. You
Yeah.
should lose a stone. I should like, and then she got really
Yeah,
offended, you
yeah,
know. But
of
then
course.
like, since she was attacking
Yes.
me, he was like,
Yeah,
oh yeah,
he
fuck,
bit back,
you lose a
fuck
stone.
you.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's what I think. Like, man, I'm very nice all the time. But
Yeah.
if you are like being so annoying against me, I'm like, fuck
Exactly.
you. Then I can be hard as well.
Exactly,
you know,
bro.
like fuck you.
I know.
But fuck, man.
Yeah, man.
And
But yes, so it was easy. You know, we have the internet. All you need is your phone. And I just find out how to lose weight, how to get healthier, sleep better. I've tried to be more spiritual. I read a lot of little short videos, things like that, motivational.
like
They help,
earlier
bro.
today
Bro,
when
they
we
help
talked.
so much. I
Yeah.
save them, I go through them. It's easy.
yeah, because exactly it
It's
helps you.
accessible
Yeah,
everywhere
exactly.
now.
And then if you can like what we talked earlier, like this morning, like load yourself with positive stuff, everything. Why
Definitely.
would you be against something that is positive,
Exactly.
something that is good for you?
Exactly.
Man, it's good for you. It's
Exactly,
positive.
exactly.
Like don't
I know.
don't push it away.
Don't shit on it.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
Man. Like, fuck.
I know.
So I have like a last question or something.
Yes, okay.
So we don't make it too long.
Yeah.
But what would you think like nowadays? Talking like you have been working like under more or less the Spanish system, the
Yes.
English system. Like you have come from a big chain. You also come with us.
Mm.
Like it's a bit smaller. But what would you think would be the improvements you could see as a barber? So what are the ideas that you think people need to start apporting or like adding in their life while barbering?
While barbering, I think health is a big thing for barbers.
Yeah.
A lot of barbers that I know
Yeah.
quite unhealthy. Do you know what I mean? A lot of
Eating shit,
it's
yeah.
because you eat shit all the time. Because you finish late. Sometimes you lost a cervezas,
Yeah.
mucho fumar. So I think barbers in general can be a little bit healthier. But I would say even this past couple of years after COVID, I can see a difference. People now thinking about health, you know,
Yeah.
after seeing all the death and all this bullshit. I think people, yeah. So health is a big one, and just keep going, bro. That's all I think. Nothing too much. Just be happy, be appreciative, and do the best work you can. You know.
Yeah.
So always try and improve.
Yeah.
Say if you're someone's next to you who might be a bit better at something else,
Yeah.
copy.
But
You know,
exact-
ask.
yeah, yeah,
Or
yeah,
if you're new, like here, I came from Inspire in the other shop. And tell people if you want to learn something about what I paid lots of money, go look. You know,
Yeah,
this is it. We're all brothers. I think it's such a
That-
brotherhood, Barbara.
Yeah, because I think like what you said, that's something is like the best because I think this phrase was said by a client. Like you say, no, in my country we always say share the wealth,
Yes,
and knowledge is wealth.
yes,
you know, like
100%.
so. For example, this is the thing. Like you can share your wealth about talking about maybe barbering techniques, healthy techniques, saving techniques. You know,
exactly.
because it's so easy. Like fuck, the working hours. Maybe I have a client, so you don't need. But then I'm like, fuck.
Exactly.
Go and eat at your time.
Exactly.
Don't
Exactly.
miss it, like,
Help
try
your
to
brothers.
This. Yeah, exactly,
Yeah.
man. Because I think like if you help people around or surrounding you, then people will thank you like in a different way. It's
Yes.
like what they say. God works in mysterious
Exactly.
ways.
100%. 100%, bro.
And then I don't know, but then everything is like a payback. But once you give,
Yes.
you receive.
Bro,
Like even,
I believe that, and this wasn't my thinking. I used to be quite a negative person.
Yeah.
Okay, but I think whatever you put into the universe, you know,
Yeah.
it comes back. Yeah.
Why would you think like you were negative?
I think it was from family. I think
Yeah.
coming from an Irish background on my mum's side,
Yeah.
then generally just this bit of a negative.
Yeah.
I don't know whether it's could be the very religious side because the very Christianity is a big thing. I don't
Yeah,
know. There's a lot of guilt,
Lot of
stuff.
complaints.
Yeah.
Guilt,
Do you
like,
know?
yeah,
It's a
lot
lot of
guilt.
Christianity is based around
Yeah.
guilt. I mean, I went to Catholic school and blah blah blah. I think it's good, and religion can be good in so many ways for so many people. But yeah, it was just a bit of a negative, and my mindset was always a bit grumpy and not appreciating the sunrise,
Yeah,
and
man.
just little things. But it's because I didn't know. Sometimes
Yeah.
it takes a really shit thing to wake you up, you know, snap, and then you start
Exactly.
realizing, feeling the sun on your face, feeling the wind on your face,
Yeah.
feeling a hug from a friend, you know.
And appreciating exactly every little thing in your
Exactly,
life, man.
bro.
Like, and I think that's something I feel grateful for. Like coming from where I'm from, like for me, everything is a blessing,
Bro,
you know. And
yes.
exactly. And you don't. That what I tell people, I am grateful for this because I get to see this. But you don't need to come from a shitty thing
No.
or from a shitty like area to be grateful, you know.
No.
But it's
100%.
it's a thing, you know. I think. And what do you think? Like, what's the thing that make you realize how lucky you were in your life? Maybe the thing that happened with your father, or something
I
else.
mean, I think probably the thing with my father.
Yeah.
But I think as I was getting a little bit older, I started realizing a little bit anyway. I think as I've got older, I realized I party too much. I was party animal, you know. I was crazy, living life, live fast, die young, that sort of like attitude.
Yeah.
But it was no good. It's not healthy. But I'm glad I did it. I'm glad I
Yeah.
partied because now I'm a little bit older.
Yeah.
You know, now I think about babies, which is crazy for me.
Yeah.
I never thought I would think that ever.
man.
But now I
that's the thing.
think, wow, bro, I want a baby one day. You know, I want to raise a family. I want to teach people, my baby, my children, what I've learned. You know,
Yeah.
I think I've got a lot of knowledge and a lot of life experience that I would love to pass on to my children, to my friends.
Yeah.
So this, bro.
No, and that's the thing. Like, you need to go through something to realize what you can do better. You know, because if you never
Yes.
go to this shit now, like for example, you don't see the difference in between this life and
Exactly.
this life now. Like, so it's more or less the same.
Exactly.
But yes,
Well.
well, man, I have another question for you. Is
Yes.
how would you think is the best thing? Like, do you watch podcast?
Yes.
What is the best thing to finish? It's a question.
Ooh.
Because I don't know.
I
I'm
don't
like,
know. I don't know. A big hug,
yeah, big
Bro.
hug, man. I'm really happy
bro.
you came, bro.
Bro.
Man, really happy
Bro.
for real. And I think like,
See. Cool, bro.
oh man, I loved it.